It's currently the 13th of September. I'm making this video prior to the 22nd, which is the release date of Star Wars Visions. I myself and many people are very excited about this show, and I'm extremely hyped. But first, hello everyone, my name is Jake. I've dabbled in this kind of content over multiple channels for a few years now, but I've sort of wanted to separate everything and create a distance between my professional stuff and my more casual stuff, so welcome to the chill zone. Okay, so you've read the title. What about Star Wars Visions is getting me excited, and why is it amazing for the anime industry as a whole? There's actually quite a lot to say on the matter, but I'll try my best to condense all the information into various categories just so it's easy to digest and is relatively short. So firstly, we have to actually take a step back and understand what anime is as an art form. So it's a form of Japanese animation which, like old Western animation, began as stop-motion drawings, and each element would be a cell. Cells are essentially just elements within the frame that are separated from other elements. The best analogy would be the layers in Photoshop. It's exactly the same thing. So over many years we've obviously become very digitized in the West, and we've opted for more modern methods, so 3D animation, models, rendering. This is what most of us would consider the new mainstream of industry standard animation, and that's the type of thing we use today. And this is where an element of the importance comes in, because a lot of the animation that we used to use in the West regarding stop motion, clay animation, a lot of that type of thing we just don't use anymore. We don't see older styles of animations on feature films nowadays due to the limitations as opposed to generating exactly what a filmmaker would want in something like Maya, Presto, or Blender. However, if we go back to Japan, they never stopped doing hand-drawn animation, and my god, it shows. See, the anime industry is massive, currently valuing at around $24 billion with the help of streaming services such as Funimation, Crunchyroll and Netflix. Its popularity has only ever kept growing, because where there's popularity, there's money to be made, and Disney love money. But aside from the money, why is it a good idea to adapt an anime style in the world we are all familiar with, Star Wars? Well, let's find out. Number 1, Sakuga. So Sakuga is actually a bit of a loose term. It just translates into drawing pictures, which sounds a bit dull, but it's actually more synonymous with the phrase beautiful imagery. Well, actually that's my phrase, I consider it that. It's a lot like how the word cinematography just means operation of the film camera, but it's actually turned into something a lot more profound and artsy. Now when you think of the word cinematography, you think of good visuals. Something pleasing to the eye. There's an actual genuine art form behind it. I'd personally argue some of the greatest shots in cinematic history were indeed animated. From the Snowman to Spider-Man to Fantastic Mr. Fox. I may be a little biased, but what I can say is that anime just hits different. I could mention the jaw-dropping handcrafted shots, the crisp drawings, the pinpoint framing and composition, and the explosive combat so dynamic it makes you feel every single impact. Actually, I did mention those, like if you adapt it to Star Wars, it's going to work, and it's going to look beautiful. We know that. We've seen the trailers. Reason number 2, what it actually means for the anime industry. I actually have my own issues with how anime is kind of represented in Western mainstream media. It's had a huge rise over these past few years, there's no doubt about it, but when you see the biggest cash cow for animated films in Japan is actually Disney as a distributor, it's a bit ridiculous. It's interesting how the Western mainstream just doesn't really push anime as much into the limelight as a lot of us would think it would warrant, because so many people talk about anime. Especially regarding the Oscars, where you're lucky to even get one anime nominee per year, but that's a topic for another video. The point here is that anime just deserves appreciation, and the fact that each separate episode of Star Wars Visions is being made by a separate anime studio in Japan, and a lot of notoriable ones, it's fantastic. It allows new people to be invited into the vast world of anime through a medium they're already familiar with, being Star Wars, probably the biggest franchise in the entire world. It's kind of like the effect YouTubers had on boxing, bringing new faces and propelling the sport. Only, the difference is Star Wars Visions isn't a cash grab. I said earlier that Disney obviously wants to make money like every company does, but the fact that they've given Star Wars Visions the green light to be made at the beginning, I actually have genuine respect for that. They have enough shows coming as is, and it's actually really nice to see a studio given free rein to a bunch of Japanese studios to bring the essence of storytelling and creativity back to a huge franchise. Visions genuinely just feels fresh and full of passion and love, like a few of the other spin-offs did, such as The Mandalorian, Bad Batch, and obviously the ever-loved Clone Wars, as opposed to the very polarizing and cynical nature of, well, the sequels. Number 3, this is the point I'm kind of trying to lean to from the entire video, and this is cinematic cohesion. This is something I've thought about a lot because media through time has just derived passion from the media that preceded it. A lot of modern film nowadays will have most certainly taken inspirations from other works, whether it be the concept or characters or the visuals. Star Wars is no different, and here's why, because this is my favourite part. You see, Star Wars itself was inspired by old samurai films. George Lucas took a great deal of inspiration from Akira Kurosawa, the director of famed Japanese films such as Ran, Seven Samurai, and The Hidden Fortress. Now, the interesting part is a lot, and I mean a ridiculous amount of anime is inspired by Star Wars. So you can kind of see what's happened here. We've completely come full circle with this. Star Wars has now become one with its Japanese predecessors, with a modern anime style. The blend of inspirations is crazy. It makes me feel as though anime isn't something that just could be adapted to Star Wars. For history's sake, it's something that should be. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like rating, and feel free to subscribe, because I'm trying to hit 2 subscribers by the end of the year. Yes, 2 subscribers. It's actually a big hurdle. Genuinely is nowadays. But if you didn't enjoy the video at all, then leave a comment down below, see what I could change, and yeah. This is a channel I really want to work on alongside my master's degree, because it's just a nice place where I feel like a lot of things still warrant discussion, and it's a nice place for me to do so. And it's also just a nice place for me to chill and also practice my editing, so that's always really fun to me. Anyway, appreciate you all for stopping by, supporting a small YouTuber. Have a good one.